Subhanallah walhamdulillah wallahu akbar.
Okay, class. I am giving each group of you a different era of history to research. And the question is, what impact did your era have on the modern world? So, Sofyan,
Yes, sir.
your group has the ancient Greeks.
Okay.
And Uzair,
Yes, sir.
you got the Romans.
Okay, sir.
And Sohail, your group gets a bit of challenge for you. You got the Middle Ages. Some even called it the Dark Ages.
Boring.
What?
No, sorry, sir.
See how you got on.
How the Dark Age can have anything to do with us? Excuse me, sorry to bother you.
What do you want?
We need to find out what impact the Dark Age had on the modern world.
Never was a period of history so poorly named. Hey, don't touch.
Sorry, sir.
It's priceless. And I suppose someone been filling your head with the usual nonsense. Huh? 1,000 wasted years. A black hole in history. Am I right?
Yes, sort of.
You see, it's always the same. It was all mud, disease, death, and destruction, with the roaring mobs of barbarian, ripping down the good of former civilization, burning and plundering as that went. Nothing of any worth either invented, huh? No, go on, be off here.
Sorry to bother you.
Come on, it's probably not worth it. Everyone knows that the Greek and the Romans invented everything anyway.
Oh, did they? Are you sure about that? Are you? You know, I have just got something for you. You seem to be up to the task. And I suppose I could. Just follow me.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Ask him.
Excuse me, where are you going?
From darkness onto light, my young friend. From ocean onto the land. There are things you should know. Oh yes, indeed. Now, I know I left it here around somewhere. Ah, here it is. Now, take a look if you dare.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on?
Welcome to the Dark Ages, or as it should be known, the Golden Ages.
Who are you?
I am Al-Jazari, engineer and ingenious inventor.
I thought you said this was dark age. That doesn't look very dark.
That's because it is all a matter of perspective, my soon-to-be illuminated friends. Of course, there were many parts of the world that weren't dark at all, but in the civilization that stretched from Spain to China, the golden rays of discoveries and inventions shone over everything.
What civilization?
The Muslim civilization, my young friend, through scholars and scientists in their various beliefs, some of the most important discoveries known to men were made in this time, but have more connection with your modern world that you can possibly imagine.
Like what?
Well, all sort of things.
I got to get the picture of this. Hey!
I knew it was a good idea.
Who
Who are you?
Allow me to introduce Ibn al-Haytham, a great scientist whose ideas led to the invention of camera.
You invented the camera?
I laid the foundation for modern cameras by explaining how our eyes work. I found a way of projecting an image onto Earth's surface through a small hole in a dark room, later called camera obscura.
Think of all the things this discovery evolved. Camera, cinema, all shared the same principle.
Look out!
Who's dead?
Ah, my old friend Abbas ibn Farnas, who gazed up to the heaven, passionate in this belief that man could fly.
Cool.
Indeed, he did about flying 1,000 years before Wright brothers. You know, you all take your jet-settling holidays for granted. so it only seems to remember Abbas ibn Farnas.
Stand by! I am ready for takeoff!
He did forget one thing, the tail useful for landing.
Oh, my bad. Is there a doctor in the house? Did anybody call me?
My old friend, introduce yourself.
I am Abul Qasim Al-Zarawi. Many call me the father of surgery.
Did you actually do surgery back then?
Of course we did. In fact, many of the surgical tools that I invented are still used in your modern hospitals. Excuse me, my patient needs my attention. Scalpel.
I think I may need some stitches.
In that case, I will use catgut.
What? Catgut?
From the guts of the animal, perfect for stitching internal wounds. Your surgeons are still using it today in your modern hospital. Sorry, mustache. I think he had fractured some bones.
Fractured bones?
Who are you?
I am Ibn Sina. In Europe they call me Avicenna. I have written many books. My book Al-Qanu fi Al-Tib has been translated into many different languages all over the world.
What more you did?
I wrote about the types of fracture and their healings. I give the theory of relaying the splinting of fracture. Beyond 50 nowadays call the theory of delayed splintage. Excuse me, must go to help my friend.
What more?
Introduce yourself to my young guest.
Who are you?
I am Ibn Nafis, scientist, doctor and much more.
What do you research upon?
I gave the accurate blood circulation system, the role of heart, lungs and purification of blood. And I cleared the misconception of porous parts in heart.
That's cool. What more?
The flow of blood from heart to lungs, then back to heart and then to the whole body.
Is there nobody in the field of mathematics?
Yes, of course. Alhamdulillah, we are having my good friend Al-Khwarizmi.
Yes, you are right. I am Al-Khwarizmi. People also called me the father of algebra.
So you gave algebra?
Yes, indeed. I gave the unifying theory that allowed rational numbers, irrational numbers to be treated as algebraic objects.
What more?
I gave the concept to completely free algebra from geometrical operations. I replaced them with arithmetical type operations. I gave mathematics a new dimension, a development path much broader in concept than before.
Allow me to introduce Jabir ibn Hayyan, also known as Jabir. He is also called the founder of chemistry.
So you started it?
I only scientifically systemized chemistry.
What?
I was the person to devise and perfect the methods of sublimation, liquefaction, crystallization, distillation, and many more processes that are even used today by the scientists.
Wow.
I also wrote many books that include the chemical combination, the dyes, the weight and measurement, and many more.
I don't know. These things were developed during Dark Age.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There were thousands of other inventions covering all areas of life. So you see, it wasn't so dark after all.
What about you?
Me?
What did you invent?
Well, don't want to be a big-headed, but I made some groundbreaking advances in engineering. I made my most significant discovery, converting rotatory motion into linear motion. But my crowning glory was my amazing time-telling machine, my legendary elephant clock.
Yes, it's a clock.
Yes, thousands of components collected from different cultures around the world.
Wow, a United Nations clock.
That's pretty cool. Does it actually tell the time?
Well, yes, of course. If it wasn't for me, thousands of people would be late for everything. Speaking of time, we better get you back. And remember, spread the word that this was the golden age.
Yeah.
That was all the gold.
fight the dark age.
Subhanallah walhamdulillah wallahu akbar. Subhanallah